Good afternoon, and welcome to another installment of Forever Young, the show that celebrates life after 50. My name is David Linton, and I'll be your host. And of course, I'm always delighted to be here and joined by my beautiful co-host, Miss Jean Hendricks. Good afternoon, Jean.
Good afternoon, David. As always, I am delighted and so happy to share this platform with you. Back to you.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Normally, Dr. Sharon Mitchell is a part of our trio, but she's on assignment. And so we wish things go well with her. But she will be back hopefully next week. Um, Talk life after 50. This is a show, it's titled Forever Young because, age ain't nothing but a number. Everything is about mindset. You're young as you feel. All those cliches, they really do work and they really do have a meaning. And so for the last couple of weeks, we have been talking about keeping it moving. We've had a couple on that did 10K walks. We had a physical trainer on, so we talked about moving and fitness and things. The one thing we talked about is diet, because you are what you eat. And as we know, there's so much going on, even with your diet is connected to everything that you are. So today we are delighted to have with us an expert in that field. The subtitle for today's show is Being Fit Through Healthy Nutrition. And I can't think of a better person to have on the show with us. It's someone who is a registered and licensed dietitian with over 15 years of experience. She's worked with diverse populations, ranging from nursing homes to inmates. She's currently working with military veterans at the Atlanta VA Medical Center. She's got the papers, as we like to say. She's degreed up. She's got a BS in nutrition and dietetics, and she's also has a master's in gerontology, both from Georgia State University. And she's board certified in a renal dietitian and a personal group exercise trainer for older adults. So like I said, with credentials like that, we only bring you the best. And with that, I'd like to introduce our guest, Miss Carla Coffee Dunning. How you doing this afternoon?
Hey, how's everybody going? Doing?
Good. It is so glad to have you here. Your background speaks volumes about what you've done and what you have accomplished. So I know that you are the perfect guest for us to have on the show today to talk about food. And, sometimes as we get older, we all grow up as we eat what we want. And then after a while,
Right.
we'll find out that, those things that you enjoy may not always be good for you. So we're focusing on staying healthy because what we say on this show is that if life begins at 40, everything else is a dress rehearsal. So once you get 40 and then when you get 50 and above, you got to do it right. And so we're glad to have you here to help us eat healthy. So, briefly, just tell us, what is your role as a registered dietitian to aid in movement and keeping people going?
Okay, thanks again for having me on the show. As a registered dietitian, my job is to help and to support people from the cradle to the grave for a healthy, life-sustaining diet. Because as we know, we may suffer from chronic diseases, and diet is the central lose weight.
So
Okay.
you talk about diet, like you said, it's central to
Mm-hmm.
and as we get older, we have to change. Our body changes, so we must change accordingly. We've had
Yeah.
people come on, we talked about line dancing and all the physical activities that but the key thing is, eating. My dad used to have a thing. He says, if you eat late, you're going to wake up real fat after a period of time because we've had a tendency, and I still do. That's my one thing that I got to get better at. I eat late. And so I eat and I lay down. So he said, when you eat and lay down, it's not going to be very much fun. You're not going to rest well, and you're not going to feel so good when you get up. So, before we get too deep into the program, has a little something that sort of sets the tone for the rest of the program. And I want Gina to give us that little nugget she has this week. And then after your nugget, then you can ask Miss Carla, we'll just call her Carla. We're informal. We're in the living room talking.
Right.
Ask her the question that you have on your mind.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. I found this poem I thought was so appropriate. It's entitled "An Apple a Day." An apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's what we would all like to say, when in reality, eating an apple a day is as preposterous as anyway. We would rather eat fries, pies, and artificial dyes, chips and dips that go straight to our hips, sweets and red meat that we substitute for wheat. And we all do these things in a single workday. Now, don't get me wrong. I eat junk food myself. And the moral of the story is to treat yourself, to treat your diet with more love and more care. Tomatoes and potatoes are surely not our foes. Raisins and grains won't give us any pain. So put down your dessert spoon and pick up a prune. Because to be willingly unhealthy, like not even trying on a quiz, so pick up those weights, lace up your shoes, and begin to make your own daily workout. It's easy and simple. Now, just move and eat right. Back to you, David.
Okay. Now, and see, as you said that, Carla picked up an apple. So an
Yes.
apple, there must be something to that. So Carla, with that, what Dean just said, and with you holding that apple, now our audience is primarily, as I said, over 50. So
Right.
what is the best food for people in that age group, in particular seniors?
Okay, it's very, very important for you to, then I held the apple up because it's a great source of fiber. As we get older, I'd say we kind of suffer from a GI issue called constipation. Nobody don't want to talk about it. Have enough fiber in your diet. Men should have about 30 grams of fiber a day, and women should have about at least 25 grams of fiber per day for being over 50. And the easiest way to get fiber in your diet is through an apple. You have flaxseed, whole grain, and also the skin, all fruits and vegetables. Also, too, you want to guard against bone health, which is calcium and vitamin D. You want to get enough potassium in your diet. You can get that from cantaloupes. You can get that from oranges. And also, you want to also try to cut down on fried foods. Fried foods is
No, not the fried food.
fried chicken out for over 50. You have to, I mean, I like my fried chicken too, but it has to be limited to maybe once or
But Carla,
watch out for
now,
stroke.
yes. Now, Carla, saying all of that, who are your main clients today? Who do you see mostly?
Well, America is getting older, and I do have a master's in gerontology, and that's really my population, and I'm working with now because, as we know, our veterans are over 60, so over 50. So I see a majority of my clients that I see daily are grandparents or is third generation. They're great grandparents now, and we also I am a dietitian for the Bronze Clinic at the VA, and then basically what we see all the people. I just saw like 5 people that are 90. So now the 90s are the new 60. We have so many people aging at one time. So we're going to have so many older adults. I don't like to use seniors. I don't like that word. I like something that has a little respect to it. And like you said,
Yeah.
50 is not. You're gonna actually get better with time.
That's right.
So
because we are forever young.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't use the term seniors, which term do you use? I missed that.
I like older adult.
Okay, older. I like the experience, but I'll go with you. You know what? That is important that you say that because again, the biggest population, which is the baby boomers, they're all coming into that stage, and that's the biggest population. Anybody born 1965 and older, they're all hitting that 55, 60 era. So that is a large population. And so what is the biggest adjustment for people, to get them into a healthy regimen. Because when you can't eat, no stereotypes out there listening at the program, but we know fried. As a matter of fact, I think I asked for some tonight. What are the things that we do for substitutes? I mean, because that's, the fried foods we know is not good. But I know even every year when we fast, I give up meat and I'll give up this and I'll give up that. That is the hardest 40 days to go through. So how do you get people to get on that train? What is the mentality of what has to be done?
Right. I really hope this pandemic and this COVID-19 will help shed a light on underlying health issues. And people are not talking about the diabetes and keeping a weight around your midsection. So I would tell all my older adults, please try to lose weight. Always have your heaviest meal early in the day. So you're going to, whatever we consider dinner, because as we get older, we can't metabolize. We're going to hold on to weight a little longer than we were in our 20s and our 30s. So I will always say what we consider to be dinner, to have that early in the day, no later than 4:30. So it's all about portion. And then what will we have? Lunch, you want to have that maybe about 7:30. That'll be maybe like a protein bar, yogurt, a protein and starch. And it's very important for our older adults to get enough water. People don't drink enough water. Because again, your mind, again, too, it has something to do with, again, the aging process and remembering to drink water. You have to drink water every hour on the hour, at least 2 liters of water a day, even if you're at home sitting down.
Carla,
and then also,
what's the go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You said what's the
No, I want to ask you, what's the best meal plan for seniors? What's a good meal plan you recommend for seniors?
The best thing in the buzzword, you can Google it, is going to be a plant-based meal plan. Getting away from meat. You don't need about the meat. Even a man of, a 6-foot man, maybe 250 pounds, he doesn't need about 7 ounces of lean cuts of meat, and getting your protein from alternative sources.
Let's talk about that plant-based. Can really good topic and good education, because we know about getting so much protein from meat and eggs or whatever, or wherever you get that, but how do you incorporate that? What are when you say plant-based, what kind of foods are you really talking about?
I'm talking about fresh fruits and vegetables, at least 2 cups of fresh fruits and vegetables every day. That's probably 2 cups every serving, even for breakfast. Nobody thinks about stir frying spinach with eggs as a side dish or with tomatoes. So basically, plant-based is trying to incorporate boiled foods, grilling foods, baking foods. Instead of, you will see no fried foods in the plant-based model. So it's all fresh and frozen foods, which each meal.
Carla, let me ask you this. I have seen in the grocery store where there have been some meats made from plants. Is that good? Is that good way to digest that type?
Yeah. Well, again, they probably made a lot of money because of the plant-based meats, but really research has shown that it has a lot of salt, and also it's a different type. They also use like a cheap-based, soy-based type of meat. So I really, really would not recommend those plant-based meats at all. I'd rather for you to actually have ground chicken. Actually, you can have a little red meat, but not a lot. So, and plus, they're very expensive. They're coming down in price because they even have plant-based sausage. They have plant-based.
Right.
But again, you always want to be a nutritional foods label reader. You want to look for foods that have no more than 200 grams of sodium per serving size. And then if you look at those meats, they're very high in sodium, they're high in fat. It's a process, and they're processed. Because remember, there's no animal walking around called hot dog.
Right.
Well, it's funny that you would, say that. I've always shared with say this primarily because I want to always make sure that Black men go and get their annual checkups and check their prostate, because I'm a survivor of prostate cancer. And so
Okay,
one of the things, yeah, what are you talking? Those tomatoes, berries, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get. So glad you brought that up. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, because one of the things that my doctor told me was sweets are not good for you, because sweets aren't good. Everything that I liked, he said, was not good. And I do believe in moderation, but I did learn how important it is for diet and also to get those checkups. Now, when you talk about, you said something very good, something very important: the cost of food and seniors. Now, most older, I'll use your term, older adults are sometimes on fixed incomes. So
Yes.
how do you help from a budgetary standpoint? How do you help your clients, make that connection, dollars, cents, and healthy nutrition?
Okay, first of all, I always tell, and then I do have some older adults who can't be able to stand, they're not physically able to stand. They're not able to get meals. And also I would recommend low sodium frozen meals. Because I know that like a healthy choice or like a eating well is going to be low in sodium, low in fat, and they could just warm that up in the microwave. But from a budgetary standpoint, it'll be the same thing. You want to get the family size of meat. You want to get beans. You want to get your whole grains. You want to buy dry milk. So it's the basic things of buying in bulk. But you also have to remember that older adults are part of multi-generational homes. So you probably have to feed about 3 from like maybe a 6-month-old to a 20-year-old, maybe a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old. So everybody's going to have their different things, but people are not really talking about adjusting the diet for the older adult. Because another thing I want to bring up is dental health. Please go get your yearly cleaning, go to a dentist. And that is a part of, you always want to make sure you have a chewing. So I see a lot of people who have a lot of chewing and swallowing issues. You always want to get that evaluated. And that's very, very common. So please if you have a partial dentures, please wear them, because a lot of people do not eat properly and they lose a lot of weight and they're not eating nutritious foods because of an apple, because they don't have any teeth. So all that's
Wow.
dental
Wow.
health, especially this population, is very important. And then now, since the pandemic, people have not, paying attention to all their appointments like they should.
Right, exactly. Carl, let me interject something right now. Just this morning, I was at my I had to have an appointment with my eye doctor, and he tells me to eat more to help me with my condition of my eye. He says I need to eat more green food, drink more water, and exercise. I've never heard that before, having to do with but my problem comes from having glaucoma, and he
Yes,
recommends greens, turnips, mustards, collard greens, salad. More of that to help my eyes. I was
yes.
stunned.
And so nutrition is essential for everything. People don't realize carrots, high in lutein.
Yeah.
You have to have dark green leafy vegetable is a buzzword. Anything that's dark, and that's at least 2 cups. So you should always
Right,
keep spinach, kale, arugula, and you have to drink water. And that's all,
right,
just because people don't have eyes, you still have pressure in your eyes, and also you have to control your diabetes. And especially for African Americans, 80% of us, we have high blood pressure just naturally.
right.
So we have to
Mm.
really control it. That goes your eyes, all over your body, and also susceptible to stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And always
Well,
want to get that.
interesting. If you're just tuning in, you're looking at Forever Young. We're a production of Hope TV. And today we're talking about nutrition. It's a part of our series of keeping moving and giving you the information that you need as an older person to continue to live right and feel right. Made by Miss Carla Coffey Dunning. She's a licensed dietitian with over 15 years of experience. She's well educated, she's well versed, and she is sharing some really good information. So if you're just tuning in, you're tuning into the right place. And of course, I'm David Linton, along with my beautiful co-host, Jean Hendricks. Now, what about supplements? Do you recommend supplements for people? A lot of people, they have deficiencies like me. I have a deficiency. I'm anemic, and I have to go get B12 shots. So what about supplements just in general for people? How would I eat to help offset that? I'll be your case study for everybody today.
Okay, well, first of all, not a doctor. They make that known. I don't promote.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to medical school. But far as supplements, far as when you do get older, you probably need to be on a daily calcium and vitamin D supplement, just to guard against your bones, far as bone health. As far as B12, you can get that through the food system, through meat. You can also get B12 through more beans, dry beans, black beans, red beans, peas. You can get that. And also some seafood like salmon also will be high in B12. So naturally you can get foods through B12, but some people may be so deficient with B12 where they may have to get an injection. But again, talk to your doctor about supplements, because supplements is almost, we get into like medicine. But as far as over the counter, everybody's been on vitamin D, at least 1,000 IUD of vitamin D every day, or that sunlight. And that's the super vitamin. And also, as we do get older, I do recommend some type of calcium with the vitamin D to go. Look, you want to guard your bones against, again, fractures and also osteoporosis. As African Americans, we have osteoporosis, and we still can get hip fractures and that sort of thing.
Right.
That's
Now,
very good. And I'm really glad that you said that we're no substitute for your doctor. I'm glad that you made that point. This is just information on how you can eat better and hopefully live better. But anything that we tell you, you must always confirm with a doctor. Go ahead, Jean.
Now, I was going to ask her, as a senior, what's a good balanced diet for me, especially if I want to lose weight? What do you recommend? How much of what particular food should I eat if I want to stay healthy?
Okay, first of all, I recommend the core nutrition is buying you some measuring cups. You probably have measuring cups at home.
Right.
You always want to have cups with you. When in doubt, a half a cup of rice, pasta. We're in the South, people eat macaroni and cheese, pasta, all the comfort foods. You always want to have that 25 plate. You got to eat breakfast every morning. That's a definite. That is, you have to do it within 1 hour of you waking up. That could be simple as a protein bar. You can scramble one egg, one slice of toast. Remember, not 3 slices of toast, 1 slice of toast. Type of yogurt, some type of, I'm really a proponent of blueberries. Blueberries are, again, a super fruit because, again, it's immune. We got to build our immune system for this COVID-19. And also we have the colon. So, again, blueberries, again, are going to be very beneficial. Again, you want to do that, maybe a half a cup of fresh blueberries. Also for what we consider the dinner, for lunch, I would always have maybe some wild salmon. Remember, the key word is not farm raised, it's wild salmon. You want to have some asparagus. And also too, instead of rice, people do a lot of rice, you want to do cauliflower rice or rice cauliflower. And you can find that in the grocery store. Green Giant has it. I mean, you can find it. That's a very good substitute. It's low in carb. And remember, on your plate, I said nothing about bread. I said nothing about a roll. Cornbread is in moderation.
That's a guilty pleasure, I'm sure.
And then for dinner, what we consider 8 o'clock, since we're having these long days, it could be something simple as a half a sandwich and a salad. So that's something very small, or something like a tapas. So anytime you do a snack, you want to make sure it's a protein and a starch. And then also the Lance Neocott crackers. Those are always good to have in your pantry. You always want to have a high protein snack because, again, as we do get older, a lot of people, metabolism slows down and people, and just through hospitalizations and being sick, a lot of people lose a lot of weight quickly. And you want to make sure you have that protein stored in your body, and that's the only way to fight any infection.
Now, you said something really key. You said a couple of things that I want to visit. First of all, you said within 1 hour of waking up. Why is that?
Yes.
That's very, explain the 1 hour and the importance of the 1 hour.
Okay, no matter what time you wake up in the world, because most people have been, some people wake up at 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Your body has been fasting for about 12 hours, we will say. And so that's where you get the word break your fast. So we're going to have some type of protein. And if you're diabetic, there's a lot of diabetics out there, helps level up. So that's why anything about no pancakes, I don't say anything, because those biscuits will just wreak havoc for a diabetic. So you always want to have a sufficient breakfast in the morning, every morning. I don't care if it's grits or something in the morning that's pretty healthy. And then for older adults, I really recommend oatmeal at least 3 times a week with flaxseed. And I forgot to talk about flaxseed. That's very good for trying to get your bowels to move and to drink water. So at least 2 tablespoons of seed, and also good for the prevention of prostate cancer.
Okay. So now when we talk about this diet, let me 1 second while I got this thought, because I'm getting older, I'll lose the thought. What's good for my memory? No. When you talk about the 1 hour, then you said something about dinner around 8 o'clock. So earlier I referenced what my father told us about eating too late. So are you recommending that between whatever time you get up, you have that 1 hour, within 1 hour, eat breakfast? There's a certain time in between that for lunch and dinner, because I know as America's a system of a country of systems. So we have breakfast at 12, dinner's supposed to be at 5 or 6, but never happened in my house growing up. We always ate a little later for a lot of different reasons. So I really wanted to really want you to emphasize those points, those time points, as it relates to the body digesting food, rest, and all of that. Because you made a point of that.
What Jean said, because she wanted to lose weight. And so the whole thing is what we would consider dinner, the meat, the 2 vegetables, something that's very heavy. We will have that between the hours of 2 to 4. So the reason why you have your heaviest meal early in the day, because you have time to burn it off. You're gonna take an afternoon walk for 30 minutes. And in the morning, you're gonna do some type of exercise. So you're active. So we're trying to activate our metabolism. That's our goal. So that's why we have our heaviest meal early in the day. And then in the wintertime, definitely, when that 4:30 or that 4:30 news come on, you sure have a meal on the table.
Wow.
And then, like I said, about 7, 8 o'clock, because we're about to go to sleep. Because when your body wants to go to sleep, when you see when it's dark outside, you want to have something light, like a little soup, half a sandwich. Everything in nutrition is portion size. So it's 2 cups of vegetables, fresh vegetables. It's about 3 ounces of meat. And so after about 2 weeks, your body would get used to eating like that. And you will start to lose weight. And that's cutting out the sugar, that's cutting out the cookies, the candy, the chips.
You're no fun.
This is good. This is good. Right. Okay. Okay. Carla, let me ask you this question. We talked a little bit about COVID-19. Some people that I have spoken to, they're increasing certain across-the-counter vitamins in order to build their immune system against the COVID-19. Do you recommend that, or have you heard of that professionally?
I've heard so many myths since this got started that I don't recommend these. I don't recommend nothing online. Only thing I can tell you is Start eating vegetables, 2 cups of fresh and frozen vegetables, and the key word is dark green leafy
Right.
vegetables. Drinking
Right.
water. People don't drink enough. So especially as we do get old, you need to drink 2 to 3 liters of water every day, pure water. If you have to add lemon to it, if you have to add Crystal Light, you have water. So that's the only way I see it from a clinical standpoint. Prevention to prevent COVID. Also exercise. We already know exercise is going to help our memory, and it's also going to help build our immune system.
So I want to stay on I want to stay on this pandemic thing because that's, Gene really hit a point. You got to change your diet during this because you get that COVID-19 as everybody's talking about. But how has that affected you and how you provide your services to your clientele?
Well, that's the main point that we're trying to get, because again, you have to realize with our clientele, all the doctor's appointments have been pushed back, and that's
Right.
another issue. When you have that, people are not getting treated, so they're going to come back sicker. So I always ask patients, are you going to fast food? And the number one answer is yes. I do a lot of curbside dining, and they're doing a lot of snacking, sitting. So their conditions are not being treated properly. And so I always tell them, you got to get back on some type of regimen to get you back on the bandwagon, because you got some people are still stuck in March, and we're almost to September.
Right. No, that's so true. I mean, and then it's also because, even though this show is talking about forever young, let's talk about the young, because you develop those habits, that you start young, you can carry them through your life. So, what advice do you have? Because we have a lot of seniors or older people. I'm going to try to get that with the vernacular. A lot of the older people who are raising grandchildren or great grandchildren. How do you help them, in terms of getting that dietary regimen started early?
Okay. Hello?
I think you probably could go ahead and answer. I think he's frozen.
Yeah, okay. So basically what you can do from an older adult standpoint is that you can basically start making you a meal plan. Like I said, if you want to do a dinner, you just have to cook you something separate because you're in a multi-generational household. You always want to cook your vegetables, make sure you have breakfast in the morning. You just want to have your own routine. And I know with kids, they're not going to eat what you eat. They're not going to eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of salad. I want a hamburger. I want something plain. I'm not going to eat. So you just have to keep on your diet and then cook them something separate. Though it seems like a lot of work, but again, that's what I would do from that standpoint.
In my home, because there's a multi-generation here in my household also. So when I get up in the morning, I will go ahead and prepare my egg white omelet. I'll have my toast, and my problem with that is I may have 2 pieces of toast, but talking to you now, I'm being slapped in the face, so I will only have a half a piece and maybe save another piece for later on. But that's exactly what I do. And then another thing too, what do you what type of snacks do you recommend for older adults that would be healthy for us? What type of snacks would you recommend?
Okay, I'm really a proponent of yogurt. I like yogurt because it has a lot of probiotics. I really like the Greek yogurt, but it doesn't have a lot of sugar. Because I like it because it's soft and you really don't have to. It's really anything you want to do is soft, high protein foods.
Uh-huh.
Again, you can do the strawberries, fresh fruit is a good snack. Anything with protein, cheese and crackers, real cheese, real crackers. You want to
Right.
do peanut butter. Everything has to be, and it can be 100% peanut butter. I mean, I'm not a stickler if Jiffy or Peter Pan, peanut butters and crackers. You can always make sure everything that you do is low carb, high protein is the key word. You want to make sure you have protein at every time you eat. Again, if you have diabetes, you want to make sure that everything you do is leveling out your blood sugar. Potato chips are not a snack. Cookies are not a
Right.
snack. Cake is not. Sure is tuna. You could do something with soft tuna. I mean, people, and you can make you a chicken salad. That's a good snack.
So what about, no, you said peanut butter. Does my peanut butter and jelly sandwich count?
Yes, actually, peanut butter and jelly. Where y'all talk, who have wrote papers, nutrition about it's a nutrient dense. You can actually have our peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but you
Okay,
can't
well,
make them so thick. You know, you can't make them a triple decker. You know,
no,
green.
we won't make triple deckers, but whenever I have a craving for something sweet, instead of going for cake or cookie, that's usually what I'll go to, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You know,
That's
as
excellent.
as a matter of
That's an
fact, when
excellent.
me and my wife were dating, she said I made the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So hey, I wanted with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We had no money, college students. So so Carla, as we're getting close to the end of our show, this has been a really good bit of information that you shared with us. It's life-saving, literally.
Yes.
There are a couple of things. If people wanted to get in contact with you, how do they get in contact with you, for one? And then what do you want to leave our audience with? So I'm going to allow you to first tell us how they can get in contact with you if they want it. Are your services available like that? I mean, are they, I don't know if you even do that. How do you get clients?
I mean, I can get clients. The whole thing. I'm actually. I know our older adults. There's a lot of Swift. I mean, I can't really see. I'm being stereotypical, but I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook, and you can actually name in there. You can find me on any platform that I'll pop up. If you put my name in Google, you can find me. Instagram is a good way to find me. You can send me a DM, or you can send me some type of email or a message, as we say on Messenger. As far as how to contact me, I post everything I do. I don't post pictures about my family. Actually, I post about nutrition, trying to give you at least good information in a short amount of time. And the one thing I want to leave today's Forever Young, thank you again for having me on. I really appreciate you, Dr. Mitchell, for again having me on, is to make sure that you really check on your weight, have a low sodium diet, cut back on fast food, processed foods. Always make sure you drink enough water. You always want to drink water, 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 water. At least 2 to 3 ounces, 2 to 3 liters of water per day. You want to have at least 2 cups of dark green leafy vegetables every day. So always incorporate vegetables in your diet. Make sure you get enough calcium and vitamin D. You want to exercise, and you should be okay. Again, for my older adults, that's my message.
Okay. Well, Jean, do you have anything that you want to put forth before I put a bow on this show, as we say?
I just like to thank Carla for all that wonderful information. She has encouraged me to, in the morning, not eat 2 pieces of toast, but put a piece and a half away and start maybe a half a piece in the morning. I am a bread person, and I'm going to promise her that when I see her again, I will have lost 5 pounds. So I hope I see you next year.
Well, you know what? That is so true. I mean, I think one thing, because everybody's talking about use this our show, we could do this. They're not going to cut us out. Real quick,
Right.
you talked about the berries. Everybody's into protein shakes. A good drink in the morning.
Okay, you said can you repeat that
What is the
again?
good ingredients for a good protein shake in the morning? People
Okay,
are drinking protein juices and that kind of stuff. And you said with the mixed berries. So everybody's got their little blenders or whatever, their
everybody.
bullet. So what's a good thing in generally speaking?
Okay, we're just gonna use about, we can just gonna do like a berry shake. So it could be half a cup of blueberries, half a cup of strawberries, half a cup of raspberries. Okay, so everything is portioned out. And then, depending on what type of protein powder that you use, I recommend maybe a plant-based powder for you to use. Make sure at least one scoop has at least 8 grams of protein per scoop. So if you go to the grocery store, you can find all these protein powders, but you got to
Right.
find the one you like. So make sure it at least has 8 grams of protein.
Okay. Great.
That will then you that up a half, a half a thing of maybe almond milk, maybe about 4 ounces of almond milk to give it some type of flavor. Now, mention now it's going to be tart. It's not going to be, it's not going to have a lot of sugar in it. It's not going to be a smoothie, but that's what I would do.
Okay. Well, that's fair. And I appreciate that. I got that information. I hope you wrote it down. Again, thank you so much, caller Coffee Dunning, for being with us today, for all the valuable, life-saving, and nutritional information that you shared with us today. We want to thank our producers for helping us pull this show together. We want to thank our executive producer, Dr. E. Dewey Smith Jr., for having the foresight for creating all these programs on Hope TV, which are an extension of our media and marketing division at House of Hope Atlanta. And again, once again, as we say, this is a program designed to help you forever stay young, because age ain't nothing but a number. And until the next time we get together next week, remember, eat well, keep moving, and stay close. And we always want to remember the 3 W's, which are so important today. Wear your mask, wash your hands, and watch your distance. For David C. Linton and Gene Hendricks and Carla, I'm saying enjoy, be safe. Until next week, bye now.
Bye-bye.